got sucked into this CGC side of collecting comics, and now it's like I'm having these agonizing nightmares. Conserved, restored, universal. Ah! But anyways, what can you do? You're a nerd, you're a geek, you're a freak, you're a collector. Anyways, so I bought another slab. How many am I up to? Well, you can see I bought another one here too. And I just bought another one. I'm addicted. This slab is so sweet that I had to start out with it first. I don't know if I showed this already. I don't think I did. Rangers Comics, number 38, December 47. You have Bondage by the Hands and a hanging cover of this beautiful chick. She's just being hung. Hanged, hung, hanging, whatever. And English is? No, American's my first language. English is my second. So there you go. What did I pay for this thing? I forget. It was cheap, actually. It was from my comic shop. I can't believe it was there. I was like, they had 159 on it, and I think I offered them 130, and they took it. So 2.5, universal grade. Now these next comics aren't gonna compare for a little while. I bought them because they were cool to me for reasons. They may not be cool to you, but I always like the Lois Lane or Superman or Batman covers with the devil on it. And it's never the devil. So you think like this, something with a comic code, well, you can't have that on there. We're not going to let you publish it. And they go, well, it's really not the devil. Oh, okay. And not only that, it's a voodoo cover, and I love voodoo doll covers. So a devil and a voodoo doll. So you know why I bought this. I forget what I paid for this. I just, to make sure I give credit, I know that Steve Caldwell sent me an issue with Superman and the Devil. I don't think this is it, but if it is, I have to give him credit. I just want to cover all my bases, basically cover my ass, because I know that he gave me one. And I'm not sure if it's that one. I know that I bought one also. So speaking of Steve, we both got this. I showed it to him. You don't see a whole lot of Pearl Harbor covers in the Golden Age. This is actually Silver Age. So that's why I bought it. I was going to pass, and then I seen this. It kind of looked odd. I'm like, why are the enemy planes so prominent on an American comic book cover? And so I said, that's kind of odd. Then I looked at it closer and go, oh, because it's Pearl Harbor. That's a treasure chest. Shout out to Joe, Black Box, Silver, and Bronze. He got his stuff in finally. He moved to Tennessee. They finally delivered his stuff, and he's going to work for the first time on Monday at this new place. But he sent me a box of treasure chest books. I have them set aside. I'm hoping one day I'll get to them. This was a high-grade copy, and I'm happy with this because I seen other copies on eBay after I bought this from my comic shop for much more and worse condition. So Flying Saucers Comics. And it tells you, in my gray man voice, unbelievable accounts of bizarre sightings of UFOs and the men who fly them. That's number 1 from April 1967. I paid $13 for that with shipping. Another one, My Comic Shop. I think I bought these two out of the same time. This was $23 with shipping. So if I buy 3 or 4 books, I put the price on the back. I break up the shipping in 4, divided by 4, and then add it to the price to give a more accurate price. 1959, number 26. It's just very King Kong-y looking cover. But if you look at his hands, he's got claws. He's got claws for applause. Come on. And we see that it says The Menace of the Alien Ape. I think I'm going to do a contest right here. So if you can tell me why gorillas tend to climb up to the tallest buildings, there's a reason. It has to do with the movie. The first accurate answer is going to get a book. Let me see what I got. If you want it, I'll give you a copy of the second print, first Silver Sable. So if you can tell me, it has to satisfy the reason I know why giant gorillas are shown in movies and on media always climbing the King Kong-y ones to the top of the building. There's a certain reason. If you're a big King Kong fan or if you've watched the movies, you'll know. This is another Silver Age book from 1962, but it has like a sexual harassment cover. And it was only, what did I pay for this thing? I didn't put, oh, it was $9. So it was like $7. And it's a high grade. Confidential diary. And she's saying, Ray, please let me go. It's Ray Donovan. Ray. So that's, yeah, it's got a yellow background. I'm into romance. There's not too many of them where you see like this kind of a scene. I said, I hit it with the heck. So the next one is a flame cover thrower. The next one is a flamethrower cover. Now we're getting into Golden Age. I suggest you sit back in your Lazy Boy. If it has a seatbelt, go ahead and strap it. Attack! Yes! 1952. And you can see that his flamethrower has been satisfied with the burning of that enemy right there. 1952, November, number 4. I found this on eBay with shipping, with taxes. What did we pay? $45. So less than 50 for Golden Age war cover with a flamethrower. Burning up a dude. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm looking for this again. When I find stuff like this, I want to see if I can find second, third copies cheap, and I'll pick them up. But there were no other copies of this that I could find. And that's even more satisfying. Okay, so this book needs explanation. And I'm sorry, if you watched the live show a couple weeks ago or a week ago, I showed all these books, I think. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember, but I'm apologizing if I did. I told the story on this. The reason I bought it is Captain Strangelove showed this and the next issue in one of his videos, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And ever since then, I've been looking for them. So why are they a pair of books that need to be bought? Well, let me first say I've never found an issue under $200 until a couple of weeks ago. I was actually talking to Captain Strangelove on the phone, and I said, it's been a while since I checked on these, and I found one for $48. So this is Freddy the Firefly. This is Animal Fables from 1947. This is an EC comic. And as you can see, he resembles the Human Torch very much. Timely did not like that. They actually threatened some legal action against EC. And on the next issue, he's on the cover again, and he's green. And it's so cool. And I have not been able to find that one. But I think he appeared This ran for 7 issues. I think out of the 7, he may have been on the cover 5 times. He's just a cool character. So it ended up being 61 with shipping and tax. But I'm glad I finally found a copy of this. These are expensive. Okay, next. So last July, my friend Jerry the Jitterbug, I'm sure you know who he is. I'm not going to even go there because he's a cool dude anyway. Anyways, I was like, dang, he found this for cheap. I think it was one of his, maybe his first, like, take a gas videos. I don't remember. And I'm like, dang it, I don't know. Some of these people, I don't know how they find this stuff because I'm searching daily and I miss it. And it was 1 year later, I finally found me one for under 30 bucks. Funny Animals, number 45, December 46, the Christmas cover. Very like pink, periwinkle-ish, purple. And then you got Santa's sleigh, you got Hoppy Bunny. So I paid, with tax, shipping ended up being 42 bucks. But it's a really nice copy. Really nice. It's got the dust jacket, the dust there from this book. A book sat in front of it for years. Kept most of it clean except for that edge. Yeah, baby. Happy about that. So this book, I paid up for it. So a lot of times I'll go to my comic shop, check new listings. If a book looks interesting, but I want to maybe buy it later, I'll put it in my cart, then put save for later. That's what I did with this book. And I went and researched. Couldn't find any more copies. It seemed like out of the series, this was one of the scarcer issues. And it had a very dynamic cover. So it's Fighting War Stories. These are the kind of books that I like to put in my collection. They're scarce. There may not be a key to it, but in a Golden Age run, there may be 3 or 4 books that are like the most scarce for whatever reason. Maybe they were short on product when printing it. Who knows? Could be 1,000 different factors. But that makes it have value, good investment. Because if nobody knows about it and you have it and you hold on to it 3 or 4 years, finally people are going to catch up to it. And the price is even going to go up more because it's so hard to find. That's his number 4, March 1953. And I paid $55 for that. And it's like a 1.5. Everything's there. I think cover's detached. And then I found another scarce. This is what I'm talking about, scarce books. So I do certain searches. I'll have my generic terms that I'll use, and then I'll mess around with them as I exhaust my searches on other terms. So I search war bond covers a lot. Like maybe every 2 or 3 weeks I'll do a search for war bond covers. This one never came up, but it was on eBay. And so I was searching some other terms, and it showed up. And it ended up being a stack of books in, I think it was an auction. I don't remember. So I got this stack of books. The key is here. It's a very scarce book. But I started doing research on, because of that book, The Key, I started doing research on this title. I always thought these were basically like Dell throwaway, like there's hundreds and thousands of them. And I see them in bins and new funnies. Whatever, they're a dime a dozen. And that is true up to a point. This is number 139. So most of these were pretty good, really nice shape. Except for this one. And I think the rest, except for the Key was really low grade. And then 2 other ones, but the other ones are really nice. So number 142. So if you can buy these for cheap, below 126, go for it. Those are the ones that people want. They're more desirable, and they're harder to find, and they can be more expensive. And the reason for that, and I'm going to tell you when I get to The Key so I can actually show you why, but this one's in really nice shape. Christmas cover. Number 143 from January 49. It's got a dealer mark right there. Who knows, that could even, I don't think that is a pedigree. I think it's just a dealer mark. Another one, really nice shape. 146, 1949. I like this one. So Woody Woodpecker. So Andy Panda was the big Walter Lyons character until he created Woody. Woody started to become popular after about a year or two after he was created and started gracing all the covers. That's number 148, 149. And then we got this one, and then we have the Grail. So this is 151. Now here's the Grail. This, not the Grail, the key that was in the lot. This is number 89. Actually, this one doesn't have the reason I was going to tell you why the other ones are worth picking up. I do have another one in here. I bought a separate one from after I started realizing what these were. So that is a War Bond cover right there. And I love the fact that the background's green. It really makes the cover dynamic. He's counting his nickels so that he can buy a war bond and help with the war effort. Really cool. July 1944. So the whole lot was $40, I think. Let me see. No, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think the whole lot was $60, which I'm very happy with. This book, I started showing it to everybody because I have a circle of collectors that are Golden Age. Nobody's ever seen this, so I'm very happy to get this. It matches perfectly with my Looney Tunes. But anyways, here's number 98. But the reason that these are so desirable is this character, little 8-ball here. So supposedly they call him, black stereotype, but Dell, or is it Dell? Yeah, this is Dell, right? Yeah. Walter Lyons, I don't know who the publisher, I forget who that was, Eastern Color or whatever. The teachers were doing this campaign and get kids to write letters for stuff, to send to the government or whatever. So they were sending letters into the publisher asking for this character to be removed because he picks black and supposedly in a bad light. But the reason I say that is because in the letter they wrote back to the kids. They stated, we'll have to cancel all these characters because they're all stereotypes of Italians, Greeks, French, whatever. And I thought that, that's a pretty good point. But they ended up relenting and they did cancel this character. As of issue 126, he no longer existed. So that's the reason why, if you want to pick up books of the new funnies, get them 126 and below. Okay, I picked up a second copy of this. And every time I see this book around $20, I'll pick it up. Just a nice American flag, kind of Spirit of 76. This was like $12 off eBay. I think there's another one up there now for $50. It may be in better shape too. There's 2 different covers in this run with a similar depiction. And that is volume 2, number 4, which would make that number 14. Anytime I can find this crime, Golden Age series, cheap, exposed, true crime cases, you can tell it's really low grade. But it ended up with shipping was $16. They're really cool. It's a short run. It's by DS Publishing, and they're pretty scarce, the issues. And I think most of them have like semi-good girl, like this one. I don't know if you'd classify that as good girl. But the colors are bright, just really cool, part of the Golden Age, crime, scarcity, all those things. Did I tell you what I paid for this? Was $16. I think I have 3 or 4 different issues of that. Number 1 is the most desirable because the husband's choking his wife over the river, and there's a death is coming for her from the other side. Cool book. Never knew about this. Found 2 funny animal issues at the flea market like a long time ago. And they were falling apart. And I asked the guy what he wanted. I thought, I'll pay $1 a piece. And my wife told me, you better buy those both for less than $1. So I ended up getting a copy of Monkey Shines. So I saw this on eBay. It's number 1. And I thought it looks just so cool. It's from 1944. And it's pretty scarce. But But the best part of this book is that somebody, some mother, grandmother, whatever, or maybe they sewed. You can see the stitches. They sewed the spine. This book, it's pretty cool. I like that. Monkey Shines. Pretty thick book. It says #1, summer, and there's a lot in here. I find that, of course, depending on the creator, a lot of these funny animal books, they either can be really cool art and not funny, or really cool art and makes you laugh out loud, like Disney, Looney Tunes. This book here, I think I read this one, and it was not funny at all. The stories were not really that good. The art was great. And it's Al Fargo, and he is a terrific artist, but he's got some stuff in the Silver Age that I bought. It's the same thing. The art is fantastic, but the stories are not. Okay, where are we at? Man, we're not doing too bad. 4 more books. Now, these are all timelies, these next 3. They're all war covers, and they're all funny animal. So, All Surprise #5, the winter issue, 1944. You can see there, he's walking the enemy. They stripped him of their clothes, their weapons, and all his gang is cheering him on from the building. All Surprise. So before the war was really started, before we were involved, before Pearl Harbor, there was more focus on the Nazis in the comics. But after Pearl Harbor, it was all focused mostly on Japanese. Or maybe 50-50. But before Pearl Harbor, there wasn't any Japanese that I can remember on covers. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Maybe I'm just babbling. But I do know this. Ideal #1, fall issue. You got Nazis and you got Japanese. This is fall 1944. Nazis, Japs. He's crushing them in his hands. They're falling. Look at the planes, the tanks. He stomped them all. That is just a sweet book. I was looking to see how many I could find. I think I find all the big ones in the Timely Funny Animals section. Here's the big book right here, Comedy Comics, #19, September 1943. So this is before these other 2 issues. Excuse me. You got Hitler right here, and you got Hirohito right there. You got the damsel in distress on the train tracks. Just a really killer book. This book is thick. The other 2 are real thin. They're like half the size of this. You got a barrel of TNT, and it's got a Nazi symbol on it. That's sweet. That is so cool. Now, I want to shout out my buddy Joe Lyons. This dude is just amazing. He's cool. We talk all the time, all about comics, life. He just moved to Tennessee, and he bought a book when he was here, doing interviews or putting applications in for jobs here in Florida. He went up to Tennessee first, then he came to Florida. He found a book at a shop for... I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. He found a book at a sale in Hawaii when he lived there. Kind of like a month before he decided to move. He paid, I think, 60 to 80. And I was so jealous of that book. I mean, I nerded out, was jealous. I'm like, man, that's a scarce. I'll never find it for that price, or I'll never find it. And we all have a couple books. I have some books like that Joe feels about. So a couple weeks ago, he, I think it was last week, messaged me, and I didn't answer. I was with my wife. I got up late or something. So finally, I answered him. He said, this book is on my comic shop right now. Complete. They had it for like a 1.0 for $50. And I'm like, what? And I saw the text. I called him back, and I put him on speaker. And then I freaking out. I was like, Captain Rocket #1. $50. And you know, my comic shop grades low, and they said 1.0. This book is a 2.0 all day long. I would even say it's a 2.5. Everything's there. I think the cover's like just barely coming off of Staples. But it is just a gorgeous book. Thank you, Joe. This is what it's all about. Anytime that I know that people are, like, if I see something that I don't want or that I'm not even interested, that I don't collect, but I know somebody else really loves this stuff, or I found a good, even if I found an amazing deal on a book that I know somebody else wants more than I do, but I would love to have it, but I know that this other person would appreciate it more than me, I send them the listing. Because I like to see people's faces, like mine right now, when I got this semi-grail, I'll call it. It's a killer book. It's a one-shot from 1950. I got 57, I guess. 57? Huh. I didn't realize it was... That has to be a 1. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. That's got to be a 1. Sometimes that's my handwriting. Yeah, that's a 1. Yeah, 19. Because this is Golden Age all the way. Check that out. That woman looks so cool. His lips are like he's wearing makeup. It makes him look like they're on a 1950s movie sci-fi set or something. This is a sweet book. I'm so happy. Thank you, Joe. This is one that's going to be displayed on my wall forever. It's just, there are certain books, the covers, for whatever reason, that they have to be the one that go on your wall. And they have to be like, I rotate, but there's certain books that will stay and they won't come down because they're the books that when people walk in the room, they look, if they even glance in that, catch a glimpse of it, they're like, whoa, what's that? So... I'm a nerd. I love to nerd out. I appreciate all you checking out my hauls. I'm going to have a bunch coming up. It's been like dry. I haven't been doing too much, but I'll be putting out a couple hauls the next few weeks. And then I'll be, I have to end that secret contest. Dang it. All right. Nighttiger. Peace out.